Hey, this is Liam. Welcome to another free video of mine. Thanks for opening the email and clicking the link. And yes, I did get a new haircut, so thank you very much for noticing. No one ever notices. Thank you very much. Anyway, we're going to talk about sleep, okay? Now, I know that you probably can't see this properly, so I'm going to hold it up. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if you can even see that. So it says sleep, and then it says earthing and blue light. So some of you might know what earthing is, and some of you might know what the blue light concept is. The fact is they're both scientifically proven. So we're going to go through them. This is something that I would do a lot. And remember, when we're attacking tinnitus, there are so many different ways to get tinnitus and so many different symptoms of it that it really is more effective to go for an all-angled approach. An all-angled, systemized though, but all-angled approach to getting rid of tinnitus. So this is one of the main steps that I actually used to when I was teaching in person. I'm in Thailand now, I don't do in person in Thailand, but when I was in Melbourne, this was what I would get people to start doing straight away. So let's break down earthing. So what is earthing? Earthing is essentially walking barefoot on sand, rocks, the ocean, going for a swim in a lake or the ocean, hugging a tree. You know, I'm not a hippie person, but science is science as far as I'm concerned. But the point is that here's a really interesting thing is people are more electrical than they are chemical. People always talk about how there's always a chemical imbalance in people's brains, and that's why people get depressed, because there's a chemical imbalance. And they supplement that with, well, supplements or antidepressants, or some of you are here, a lot of you I'm sure are here because you took antidepressants because the doctor told you to take them, or you took something like Roaccutane, or you took a corticosteroid, which is bloody bad for you, or you took antibiotics or something like that. Corticosteroids are antibiotics. Sorry for talking fast, but regardless, the point is that we are electrical before we are chemical. Electricity is more important in our bodies. Our heart and our brains run on electrical currents, especially our brain. So if your brain isn't linked up properly, you know, it's a very simple way to determine the synapses and the brain cells in our brains, but if we're not linked up properly, then we're not going to feel good. To put it very simply, the earth has an electromagnetic current which is negative, and your body, your bare skin, your feet, or whatever part of your body, top of your head, doesn't matter, acts as a conductor, so it can receive the electricity, okay? I've got a pair of Nikes, my plastic Nikes or whatever they're made of, nothing's going to get absorbed through that, okay? This is part of the reason I came to Thailand, because there's lots of shrubbery and bush and you can walk on that. Now, let's get into some actual science about what happens when you absorb that electricity. So you walk barefoot on the ground, 30 minutes a day. There's been lots of studies done. Let's talk about one study first and then talk about the science behind it. So, one study was done on a woman. This is all about inflammation, by the way. It's great for inflammation and pain. One woman who had who had chronic back pain was analysed after walking 30 minutes per day barefoot. I think it was just walking around the beach. And after 1 week, they used, before they started with, they used x-rays to analyse the before and the after of the inflammation, and it started to recede. It started to go down as you started to spend more time per day, more days in total walking barefoot on the ground. And I know this sounds like a lot of hippie BS, but there's science behind it. I'm going to leave it to you to research, because I've got about 50 websites that I go to. It reduces inflammation ridiculously well, and also helps your brain to function. It adds the pulse, the electromagnetic pulse in the brain that you need for it to function and fire properly when you see certain stimuli, when you think certain things. Overall brain and heart health, it's really, really good for that. So if you've got a blood flow problem, it's going to help your blood flow problem, because it's going to make your heart work better. The aorta valve is a muscle and it's running on electrical currents. That's electricity. You want to get that? If you've ever had a TENS machine, you know exactly what I'm talking about. A TENS machine is something I used to have, my doctor gave me, right? My ENT, here you go, Liam, put this on my cheeks, and it zaps you with an electrical current. And because our bodies work as conductors for an electrical current, just like the earth is, we can absorb it. Now, obviously it's not as strong, the earth isn't as strong as a TENS machine where you couldn't walk barefoot, but you get the point I'm trying to make. It seizes your muscle up, but it's a negative current coming through the earth. So it's going to go, it sounds really hocus pocus, but check it online. It's quite interesting, and I get people to do it, and they do report. It's consistent across the board that it helps, as long as you tie it in with everything else. Okay, and look, here's the thing. You might be thinking this is ridiculous. You know, my doctor said this is a joke, but it's so easy to do. Why wouldn't you just try it? It's so easy to do. Now, blue light, you've probably heard this before. This is the phones. This is the computers, laptops, LCD screens. like in my room right now, any sort of screen that's lit up, fluorescent lighting as well, LED lighting as well in offices and stuff like that, is replicating the sun essentially, because the sun, as it comes, it's complicated as hell, but as it comes through the atmosphere, it's blue light, okay? So it keeps you awake. So it's telling your bodies through your photoreceptors in your eyes that it's time to wake up and do stuff, because we're daytime animals, we're not nocturnal, whatever the opposite of nocturnal is. Anyway, good science, right? So when you're looking at your computer all day, or sorry, I should rather say, when you're looking at your computer at night time, as soon as it's getting dark outside, you mess with your circadian rhythm, okay? So you mess with that by your brain thinks that the day is longer than it is. So you're sending your brain the message that you should be awake, you should be awake. So if you're on your phone and then you expect to just roll over and go to sleep 10 minutes later, not going to happen. Stop looking at electronics 3 hours before you go to bed. I personally read books. I'm in Thailand, so I'll ride a moped through the mountains at night time. I've already shown you some footage of that. But just getting outside has such profound effects on not just your sense of well-being, but scientifically proven as well. If you actually get out there and get in all the elements and get some touch the ground, and then you don't look at electronics. But I'm going to show you one thing, because I understand that we have to work for a living, right? So I'm going to show you some footage now. So this is what to do on your laptop. So lots of people have a laptop. I've got a Mac at the moment, and you can actually go into settings and you can put it on night shift mode. So you can put it on night shift and it will get rid of the blue light. It will try to do its best to do so. You can actually get an orange, I think it's acrylic, just to clip over the front of your computer. You can use that. You can also do the same for your phone. So I've got a Samsung. So Samsungs, people are realizing how bad this is for us. So Samsung comes with it already turned on. So Samsung, you go into settings, and I'll put a clip up, but you go into settings and turn that off, or you turn the blue light off, and that will help as well. And your eyes just won't hurt as much and you'll sleep better. So do that on your computers and your LCDs. TVs probably won't have it, depending how old they are. But everyone watches Netflix these days anyway, so I don't really know anyone who watches TV anymore, especially when you're traveling overseas. But this is all about sleep. So try it out. I mean, why not? If you're like me, then I wasn't working, because my tinnitus was so bad I wasn't able to work. So why wouldn't I do it? And why wouldn't you do the same thing? Blue light as well. It's easy to do. Just do it. It's so easy. It's such an easy thing to do. So try these things out. Okay, this is all about sleep. And if you cut out coffee and sugar. And by the way, this is all about reducing cortisol, because cortisol has a lot to do with your circadian rhythm, okay? Cortisol is good in small doses. It does the right thing. When you're scared, when you're in fight or flight mode, it raises your heart rate, it pumps oxygen to your blood, it helps your blood flow, okay? So oxygen to your muscles as well, which means that you'll run faster, okay? So do this stuff, okay? Give it a go, why not? Let me know how it goes. Also, I want you to check your email again tomorrow for another free video. So I'm going to be sending stuff like this. I think tomorrow's... I'm going to send you another email about more information. I'm not going to send it to you all at once, because it would be too much of an overload. We're going to chip away at it as time goes on, okay? So let's do it. Check your email tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can email me at my email address. Just respond to the email that you got this link in, and we'll talk. Talk soon.